Welcome everyone on YouTube. It is July 13th, 2023. This is the Two Men in a Room podcast. I want to welcome everybody here. My name is Anthony from Orlando, and my co-host.
My name is Vernell James. I'm also from Orlando. We would like to thank those that have already subscribed to our YouTube channel. Please remember we will be doing a contest as far as a free gift. And those that know Anthony and myself, we don't give away nothing cheap. So please subscribe, like, share, comment. Let us know what you think. We would be very appreciative. So, Anthony, what's going on today?
All right, we got a loaded show. It's going to be really long today, so stick with us through. I'm going to do a couple announcements first, and then we'll start getting into our topics. For that contest, we are looking to get 50 subscribers before we start that. Right now, we're at about 22. So please notify your friends that if you're watching, also subscribe. The subscription is totally free. You're just basically getting notified every time that we go live. So I want to make a little announcement. Queremos saludar a nuestra audiencia española en YouTube. Se toca el botón de subtítulos, puedo elegir su idioma para los subtítulos. Gracias por ver. I'm just welcoming all the Spanish audience to watching us on our YouTube channel. If you click the closed caption button, you can actually put it into other languages, and you can put it into Spanish and watch our show with Spanish subtitles underneath, and you can follow along and be just as entertained as everybody else is. And with the news that the Actors Guild is now joining the Writers Guild on striking for Hollywood, a lot of shows are going to be shutting down and not doing productions for the foreseeable future, however long this strike is going to go. We'd like to announce that we're available. Two Men in a Room can do shows for you. We can do it at 30-minute installments, 1 hour installments, depending on how long your programming is. And we can come on and we can entertain the people. And we are extremely, extremely cheap. So feel free to comment or get in contact with us. We'll throw up an email in the description box below, and you can get contact with us, and you can have us do your programming. It's going to be a lot easier. Who knows how long the strike's going to go on? People could stand out on picket lines for a year, and you need programming. So we're here. We're available right now. So that's great news for all the people in Hollywood. So let's bring it back to the people here in the great nation of the USA. So our first topic for tonight is, do you think it is better to live a life with someone or to live a solo life and work on yourself and improve yourself? So I'm going to throw it to my co-host to get his thoughts first on that.
Okay, I personally think that it's best to live solo before you join a significant other. And I said that to say this. You have to get yourself together before you allow someone to come into your life. Many people don't like baggage. Some people don't like certain things. So I just feel like if you don't have your life prioritized, please get yourself together, love on yourself first, because if you don't love yourself, how you going to be able to love the individual that's coming into your life? I just feel like always get yourself together before you invite someone into your home. And there's nothing with being in a relationship. I just think that sometimes, you have obstacles and you have to settle that before you bring someone else in, because you don't want to bring someone in and you got a lot going on as far as certain situations. So, I just think you have to get your life in order before you bring that other individual into your life. I know, Anthony, you think of it differently than
Right.
me. So what's your version of it?
Okay. We do want to apologize. Jazzy J seems to be going through some blackouts over there.
Yes.
We are going to try to keep him on as much as we can as possible. So, my take on this topic is basically this. I think humans are social creatures. This has been built into us for millions and millions of years through the DNA. Cavemen days where you learn to hunt in teams to get food on the prairies and countrysides that were around back then.
Okay, but you
Our
do understand, right, that we not back in caveman days, right?
okay, but one of our greatest feats was developing language. Language helped us to communicate with others, and this has been passed on for years and years and years, millions of years. So we've never gone away from that. That's always been embedded in us. So what I'm saying is those same traits that for us were to communicate with each other, stay social with each other, find mates, procreate the species, those designs have stayed embedded in our DNA for millions and millions of years. So naturally, you still have humans, even with the technology we have today, that still wish to be with each other, even when you're alone. There's a lot of people that can't handle being alone. That's why solitary confinement is a punishment in jail, a
Okay,
punishment of
but
a punishment.
okay. Now listen. Solitary confinement and being alone is two totally different things. They done what they done to be in confinement or solitary confinement. So that's something they have to deal with. But you don't have to always be in a relationship in life. You know, I understand there are those that be in relationships or marriages for 35, 40, 45 years. It's not peaches and cream, but you got to get yourself together first before you bring somebody else into your life. Because it's not fair to the other individual that's coming to deal with whatever baggage you got going on.
Right, but the definition of getting yourself together is sometime having somebody else help you with that.
Okay, now I do agree with that. But help to what certain extent though?
To the extent where you're both growing at the same level. If you have somebody who is, already established, already got things going for them, and decides to get together with you, who you're a little shaky, but you're building things up, then together you can build things to better both your lives at that point.
But what is so hard about you being single? That's what I'm not understanding.
Because being single, I think, is inherently opposite of what most human beings are built to be. You are always with someone, even from birth. You're with your family, so you always have someone there with you. So you basically go into a life where you now become an adult. You go out on your own, but you've always kind of had somebody there with you. So you always have that feeling of, I should have somebody with me going through the journey of life. So you do go out of your way to seek out, a mate or someone who is going to be intimate with you.
Yeah, I get that, but you have to understand you can't carry nobody with you your entire life. Some things you have to do alone. So, the old saying, the left hand shouldn't always tell the right hand what's going on. And you can't depend on others at all times. You have to depend on yourself.
Okay, please explain that left hand, right hand thing for people who don't know that.
Right. It's just a term that the older generation used to always use. I'm like, what is y'all talking about? But it's just saying that some things that you do should be kept to yourself. But I just think it's not all about being in a relationship your whole entire life. I've been single for 3 years, if not longer. So that don't make me, oh, I gotta have that individual. I'm focusing on what I could do in my life to better my life. I'm thinking about my grandbaby, what she needs in her life. So you can put your focus on other things. I just feel like when you just looking for that individual to love, it's not going to happen. I just think once you let all that go, and then eventually it'll come to you. But when you just searching, you're going to tire yourself out just focusing on a relationship or being with a woman. Just take the time out for yourself and just ride the roller coaster and see what happens.
But when you're riding that roller coaster alone, it's very, very lonely.
Okay, but you could get on the roller coaster with a friend and say, hey, let's go get on the roller coaster together. That don't mean you have to be in a relationship with nobody. Or with that person that you're riding the roller coaster with. Yeah, I understand, because I don't like going out by myself, but I will go out with friends and most of all with my family, and I'm still happy. That don't mean, I need a significant other here with me in order for me to enjoy the moment. No.
But you have to have very strong friendships, because what ends up happening is, you ever notice, you get older, a lot of your friends end up getting married or getting with somebody, and they end up doing things on their own. And before you know it, you're the last soul out there. And you're going to movies alone, you ride that roller coaster alone.
Wait, so you afraid?
You just end up being like, well, what am I doing out here?
So you just afraid to be alone. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm not afraid to be alone. I just prefer not to be alone.
Nobody prefer to be alone. Nobody prefer to be alone. Nobody.
Exactly.
But
I say you have.
Wait. It still takes time to get the right individual in your life.
Right, but you can still be searching for them.
You could be searching, but don't just bank on it every day of the hour to find that individual.
But what happens if you miss the individual?
If it's meant to be, it's gonna be there. If it's meant to be, it's gonna be there.
Right.
So I'm just saying, don't put your life on hold thinking you got to go out and do this soul searching, getting on all these different apps. I gotta have her, I gotta have him, or whoever it is. Just enjoy the moment that you live in right now, and eventually it'll come to you.
So if it's meant to be,
right,
then there should be no issues once you meet them, right?
No, because it's always gonna be issues in a relationship. Ain't no relationship perfect. I don't care who it is. If they say their relationship perfect, they lying. Now let's just be open, honest, and let's be real. You're not going to find that one that don't have no issues. You're gonna argue, you're gonna fuss, you're gonna fight, you're gonna do all these things. You're gonna get in your car and leave and come back and all that. When you're in love, people accept a lot of things because they in love, but to a certain extent.
But I'm not going to get into too much detail in here. I've been in a relationship where for a year and a half, we didn't have any arguments. There was no fuss, no muss. Everything went very smooth. I was handling everything. She was loving it. Everything went great. It wasn't until the point, and I'll get into this. It wasn't until the point when I stopped handling stuff, which I, did, and I admit, that everything started going down, because when I didn't handle what I was supposed to be doing, she didn't handle what she was supposed to be doing.
That's because you let her enter it thinking you got everything, and you shouldn't do that.
Right. I did not have proper training.
Everybody should have responsibilities in a relationship. To me, it's either going to be 50-50 or, hey, the man say, okay, I'm going to pay, once again, the bigger bills if that man can afford it, while your wife or woman or whoever it is pay the Tenaichi bills. And the Tenaichi bills is the light bill, your phone bill, your utility, your grocery bill, or whatever the case may be. But you two have to sit down and say, okay, this one I can afford, this one I can't afford. Don't bring nobody into your life saying, hey, I just want you to stay home while I take care of all the bills. No, because you ruining the relationship right then and there.
So would you say I needed training to be better at what I was doing, right?
No, don't start off with this training.
You don't think I needed to be trained? You don't think I needed to learn new skills to get better at who I was and what I should have been?
but yeah, but just it's common sense. Do not say, okay, move with me, and I'm gonna take care of you. No, no one shouldn't take care of nobody because we
Well,
all adults here. We all adults, right?
right. I
And
wasn't fully taking care of her either, though. Let's put that in. But I needed training to be where I needed to be. At the same time, she needed training to be where she wanted to be
okay,
also.
but maybe she wasn't taught or trained, so she don't know. So therefore, it's up to you to sit her down and say, okay, this is what's going to happen, and y'all got to agree on the situation
Right.
or whatever topics y'all got going on in y'all world. But I just don't think our relationship ain't perfect. You know, you're going to have perfect days. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have some months where there's no issues. And then you're going to have some that have issues with no answers. You
Right.
know, but
Which
it's all
issues
about
came up.
communication in a relationship. It's all about communication because that's the key to a relationship. Communicate. You know, don't hide what's going on. Just sit them down and say, "Hey, this is what's going on." They either got your back or they don't.
Well, I give you that. But you both need to learn how to be in the relationship. So you need training. So one
Okay,
person trains the other while the other person trains one, and you
and
gain
I just
knowledge.
think the word train is just no.
I mean, I could
Word
be
train.
demand. I demand she
You
gonna
want
do
to
this.
learn one another techniques in a relationship because if you can sit and listen to someone and just pay attention to their body language and they when you ask them a question, then you should get to know. I mean, you'll figure it out. But I think the word train is so harsh. You know, I just think it's just crazy.
But you train for being in the gym and getting better and getting where you want to be. You train so that you can get the job that you want, and you prepare yourself to get in there. Shouldn't you also train and prepare yourself to be in the relationship?
Wait. Back up. Stop. Hold
What?
up. Okay, sometimes it don't. Yes, it takes training, right?
Right,
But when I got my position, right,
right,
I wasn't really trained. I had to be taught, and I taught myself majority of what I know.
right. And so I've been training, I've been going with instructors, learning new techniques, learning new stuff, and now I am at a place where I can now successfully hold a relationship, which involves having now to train her so she knows where to be also in the relationship.
Okay, train her how? That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. Is this training that got me just all screwed up?
The training, which some people refer to as control, is having her be appreciative of what you're doing, not doing stuff that's going to put yourself into a bad light or anything. Uh, Coming out and, being, I'll say it, wifey material so that you can be married later on. Situations like, just hey, if something goes wrong, he handles it. She's happy for you. And the situation goes for all type of relationships too. If whoever is the masculine party is handling stuff, the feminine party should end up appreciating it in some way.
I just
You
think
don't
both parties should
because
appreciate one another first.
the appreciation is what makes things better and where you become you feel like a team together and you feel like you're accomplishing stuff together. Can she help out? Sure. Yeah. Do little things here and there. If she could see a way that he can't see, then yeah, help out.
But to me, you just giving me that you want to take complete control of the relationship once again.
Not complete, but the majority.
But why the majority? Why it's like she have no say so in this situation at all?
It's not that she doesn't have say so. She has say so. I'll take into advice as to where to go. But, if the advice is no good, then we're going to have to do it the proper way, I guess it would be the best way to explain it.
I mean, I guess.
I get it where it seems like it's like a master in obedience kind of position on it. But if you find the right people to fit into the relationship with that, at a certain sense, the feminine position will feel like I don't have enough knowledge of something, or I don't have enough experience in something, that I'm going to put my fate into this other person's hands, and they're going to guide me safely and securely through whatever we're doing. I'll bring up an example that I just had recently. Okay. Met someone. They had a little bit of problems with language barriers and dealing with being in the country at a fairly short time. So if you are having that much difficulty being here, you would want to find someone who's been here and maybe has gone through some of the things that you're about to go through yourself, and who can help you along the way, and at the very least become friends with them, and kind of keep them around, and say, okay, hey, what do I do with this? How do I do with this? What's going on? And I'll flip it. Let's say I go to Germany. Okay, I don't know like a German. I've only studied Latin. German is completely different than Latin. So I'm there. I'm basically using the translator off my phone to figure out what's around, what's going on. There are a few people in town because it's a kind of a tourist town that speak English. I meet somebody else who's willing to sit there and translate German into English so I can understand them. We are sitting there. We're talking. They're telling me, hey, I've known somebody like this who's gone through this. I know some of the stuff you're going through. I can help you out with that. Isn't it in my best interest to say, yes, you're a friend. I should hang out with you more, and I should take some of the knowledge you're giving me. And I
hold on, Anthony. I hate this. Hold on.
We got a great comment right here.
Okay.
From Mary J, because someone has to be the leader in a relationship. Exactly.
Hold on.
Okay.
Audience, hold on, please. This is important. Hold on.
All right. Vernell has to step out for a minute, so I'm going to keep going on with this topic of, humans being social creatures. I think even if you're living with someone, there is still a relationship with somebody in the household that you're having, and it helps to get you through life with stuff. You can bounce things off with people. And that's why I think that, living a solitary life, which, people always say, well, you got out of a relationship, so why don't you just wait 6 months, work on yourself, get yourself better. What if you don't in 6 months? Are you supposed to wait another 6 months? Are you just supposed to keep, wishing and hoping things turn out all right? Well, maybe you go meet someone who can help you along with that. Get you going into that. The easiest way to start training is to go to a gym. You end up seeing other people working out in the gym with you. You end up making friends, or you find a trainer and they start motivating you. And before you know it, you're where you were planning for yourself to be, and you're not alone doing it. So you just need to take some time initiative, I don't think works a whole lot, because humans are not made to be solitary. Like I say earlier, when solitary confinement is the punishment for being punished and in jail, it means it's twice as worse as what they considered the original punishment in the whole thing. So I just think everyone should, try to be the best person that they are. Try to still build skills. I'm learning a new skill. I'm trying to pick up a new language of Spanish, which my Latin helps me learn it. I'm doing pretty well with. So, yeah, we do have a comment here. What this? Not for an introvert. If you are introverted, though, I don't think you always want to be introverted. Most of the time, you do want to stay in, but I've seen so many introverts that are on friendship sites, dating sites, social activity sites who they explain, yes, I am an introvert. I'm very shy. I'm not easy to talk to, but I do want to go meet somebody and hang out and try to get out of it. So I don't think all introverts are always introverted. I think it's just a lot harder for them to be out there and be social with everybody.
I think they introverted and to a certain extent to whatever makes them feel comfortable as far as the people.
Right.
That's
Great question. Great question right here. Do you think staying with someone your whole life is practical? Because everyone changes over time.
See, okay, who is this? I ain't got my glasses on. I'm sorry.
Okay, that was Mara Jade.
Mara Jade.
Right.
I think you're correct on this. To me, nothing lasts forever, right? But I know people that have been in relationships 35, 40 years until death do them part. They take those vows very seriously, and I applaud them for those that do. But most common relationships, to me, don't last forever.
Right. Sometimes people change in good ways, and sometimes people change in bad ways. And I think, if you know each other, you know how to adjust, or you know that it's just not enough.
What do you think about you just grow apart?
To some extent, I think you might, but I mean, if you're growing together, then I don't think you really grow apart. I think one person ends up growing and the other one doesn't, and that is more the growing apart situation in that.
But and then some people just take it as, okay, I done been with this person 30 years. This is the same old thing or stuff over and over, and they probably just get tired of it.
So your opinion of it has changed versus when you were together, because when you were together, you're saying that other person never changed, so you liked what they were putting out.
I'm throwing both parts out there.
But later on, they stayed the same, and you changed.
I just think it all depends on the two individuals, how much they are in love with one another.
Right.
But people do change. People do change and want to go the other way for whatever reason. So, I mean, it is what it is. We have to accept it, learn from it, and move on with life.
A good foundation builds a solid house.
It does, but it takes two to build that foundation.
Right.
It's not a solo on just one person when you're in a relationship.
But that's why I said each person contributes a little into it and builds it better. Some of the contributing may not be the biggest thing ever. You may have one person, like you say, paying the bills and making sure everything's running right, and then the other person appreciates it, takes care of them in certain ways, and goes from there. And together, you have a good relationship.
Okay.
So
this one.
This will definitely be one that we will touch base again with, and we'll go from there. So our second topic now is, because we are a straight man and a gay man, can a straight man and a gay man be friends?
Of course, because long as that the two individuals identify themselves who they really are, there shouldn't be no issues between the two. Now, I have seen that some people have, intentions on trying to turn the other way. I have seen it happen, but at the same time, I think that it can happen. Like me and you, we have a great friendship, right?
Right.
Me and you'll go out, we hang out, and that's that. We go out, we have fun. We don't look at each other in any kind of way. I think it can happen, but I think the problem is when society look at people like, "Ooh, what he doing with him?" So that makes that straight person like, "Oh my God," the comments, the staring, and why they being so judgmental. But if they strong minded, they won't let that bother them and just be friends, best friends, or just friends. Because it can happen. There's nothing wrong with it.
Right. I agree with you on that. I think a straight man and gay man can't be friends. A lot of times it's not all sexual talk. It's just talk.
Oh,
You guys are
just
friends. You're just talking about stuff. I think too many people see this as, well, one person's trying to turn the other person to their agenda. And I don't think it's like that. I think people should have respect for each other's agendas. And much like with religion and stuff, you don't thrust it into somebody else's face and say,
right.
well, because I'm this, you should be this. But if you have respect for each other's attitudes towards stuff, you can certainly be friends. I've gone into a gay club before, got approached, just politely said, hey, that's not my thing, and there was nothing made of it anymore. So it's not like everybody gay is trying to attack you and turn you gay or anything. That's not how it works, and vice versa. There'd be some church groups out there trying to change everybody, but for the most part, most people are not sitting there trying to bear trap you into changing everything. A lot of people just want to be friends. They just want to hang out. They just want to talk about things. And believe it or not, you have a lot more in common with each other than you really think. So I don't see a problem with, gay or straight or whatever being friends.
I think the key factor is just respect for one another, no matter who it is. So that's neither here nor there.
Right. And there'd be some good music at those gay clubs too. So, try one out if you can.
Right. We get down.
Anyway. So, any more on that topic?
Nothing else on that topic.
Okay, so we got that down pretty well. Our last topic of the night, I wrote it up as, oops, Mom, I used your credit card on a video game. So, a big story that was out, I'm sure a lot of people saw the video for, was from Europe. The child, well, how old was the child?
The child was 16 years old, and he was at a gaming facility where he was using the mom credit card and spent $47,000 on her credit card. He allegedly said he did not know how much that certain things cost on this game. He was just buying the stuff that he needed for the game to continue on playing the game. I just think you have to be mindful when you buy kids gaming system. I think you should take into consideration that you need to buy them a prepaid card and give them a budget on this card. That way this won't even happen. I'm thinking that's a lot of money. And to me, what credit card company allowed this to happen in a matter of hours? Because they normally would send an alert or say, hey, something's not right, and not let this huge charge being on your credit card.
Well, there's several things wrong with this story.
Okay.
Number one, parents just giving kids a credit card. There are a lot of cards that you can set up for a child where you can have a prepaid amount on that they can use it as a normal credit card. And if you want to, buy a new suit of armor or buy a new character in a game, you can just simply use that credit card, and you shouldn't be using your parents' credit card. Number two, yes, the credit card company should have saw the amounts that were coming in and suspected that some fraudulent charges were being made and had stopped them and simply called and confirmed whether they were actually using this card or not. I've had that instance happen before, and a card company had called me, and that was able to get cleared out. Another thing that could be done is from the video game company is reimburse some of the money back. I think would be a great gesture to kind of tell the public that, hey, we understand what happened. We're not, completely hard against it. We just are simply saying that you did spend some money on the game, so we do need to take some of that, but we are reimbursing you most of it back so that you can teach your kid how to behave, but at the same time, you're not getting hit for what your kid was doing.
Okay, so do you think in the video, both parents was hammering this child because of what happened? Do you think they handled that situation correctly?
Okay, so I saw the video that you were talking about, and if you haven't, just simply put in parents beating up kid in video game lobby, and you'll be able to see it online. It's a beating, which at 16 years old, maybe you need something like that. You need to be kind of wrung out a little, maybe to get your head straight. But it comes down to this. Kids are into these video games way too hard, and even some adults. I heard an adult one time say, oh my gosh, this new game's coming out. It's so great. I'm going to be at my house for a month. So just tell all my friends I'm not going to be around for a month because I'm going to be playing this video game. And I said to myself, oh my gosh, you're literally going to take a month out of your life to sit at home and play a video game.
Okay.
That's insane.
I understand what you're talking about. But if this person is an adult, obviously he may have all his eggs in one basket. He know what he's doing. I can see if he was hurting someone else by doing it, or his parents trying to get him to work and he don't want to work and all he want to do is sit and play the game. But is he really hurting somebody else? Because I could care less.
I don't know if he was, but man, you could be out with your friends. You could be out hanging out with somebody, having a good time. Like, that's what I say. Like, people living these solitary lives, just sitting there playing their video games all day. That's not what you are meant to do.
I know,
you should be meant to be going out and enjoying life and go spend time with somebody. Like, he wasn't a horrible looking dude. He could have went and got a girl somewhere. Go to the movies. Go have some fun, man. Don't sit at home playing with someone.
If that makes him happy, what is the big problem? If that's what makes him happy, let him do it.
Wait a minute. He's sitting at home playing with some virtual Sheila, running around on some planet they just created. You're telling me not to be with androids? I mean, at least the android is physically there. This is in a video game, in a screen, man.
Right, but if that's what makes him happy, it's not costing you no money. It's not costing you anything.
It's not costing me. I'm still going out. I'm still having fun.
I can see if it was a family member or a child or something. Correct. I understand. Right. I can care less. He could be on there for $100. It's not my business. It's not my problem. But we do need to teach children. It's not all about video games on a phone or whatever they playing these video games at. I have a granddaughter. I do have to make her get off the game and go to sleep because she will sit there and play on her game. But, it's all about chastising a person, say, hey, now it's time to learn. It all depends on what age they are. Because, now it's all about phones and games,
Right.
I'm not a gamer. I could care less about a game. They could throw all the whole systems in the garbage. I don't care because that's not my thing. For others that like it, kudos to them. Hey, do what you do. It ain't going to affect me none because I don't care.
Right. But is society creating a separatist movement to where everyone's just gonna be alone?
No.
It looks like
I don't think so. I really don't.
it's getting crazy like that.
Yes,
I'll just
it
say,
is.
listen, you should go out every now and then. To simply
Of course.
state a whole
Of course.
month you're gonna be gone is like, that's crazy. That's insane.
I agree. So, anything else on the gaming system?
I think that's about it. If you haven't watched the video, go check out the video. It's been circulated in a few different places. Check some Facebook pages. I'm sure someone has it.
We greatly appreciate the comments or the questions that was thrown at us. You know, Anthony and myself want to say thank you once again to all those that have subscribed. Tell a friend, a family member, tell those that you probably don't even know. Thank you. We appreciate you. And quote for the day, do unto others that you want done unto you. Because I think later on in life, you'll see what I'm talking about. Be kind to one another, show love to one another, and appreciate your friends and family that's around you.
It's very biblical right there. Okay. So, yes, make sure you're watching, subscribing, and commenting. We are going to post this onto Rumble for tomorrow. So if you want to rewatch it, you can watch it over there and subscribe over there also. Some other comments we had coming up. Are they Portuguese parents? No, I think this was Belarus, I want to say.
Yes, I think
or
so.
Austria or something. No, it wasn't one of the Portuguese parents. I know, surprise on that one, but no. Any other comments we had going? No, I think we're good. So yeah, I think that's gonna wrap up the show for tonight. Stay tuned every Thursday. We're gonna be doing our shows. If we get enough audience show, we'll get maybe 2 shows a week. But we need y'all to just come in and subscribe. Oh, guess who's here? Southern Gentleman. Thank you, Drew, for that comment. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, buddy. What's going on with you? Thank you for, coming on the show. We greatly appreciate it. You know where to find us. Make sure you always comment if you have any concerns or questions. You already know how we roll.
And that also segues into the next thing that I almost possibly totally forgot. So in the next few weeks, we're going to be doing a show where we're going to have a segment called Know Your Podcasters. So we are looking for anyone who watches the show. You can comment on this, comment on any of the videos, simply asking any question you want to know about us. I'm going to be a totally open book. You can ask anything you want on me, on any topic that I've ever said or anything in my own personal life you might want to know. Feel free to ask the question. I will answer it. We may have to go to Rumble for the answer, but I will answer it. And I'm sure my co-host will do the same.
I will do the same. Now, wait a minute. Children of the corn out there, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. If you ask, I'm going to tell it. Just be mindful when you ask. Don't get offended.
Don't ask anything you don't want to know the answer to, people, okay? You're going to get the answer.
So keep in mind.
Make sure you know what you're asking.
Right. Keep in mind, Anthony in his 40s, I'm in my 50s. So keep in mind, we done experienced a lot. So I'm down for it.
Okay, so that'll be coming up. Again, drop your comments on any of the videos. I will pull all the questions together, and then when we do the segment, we will go over the questions and go from there. Again, our contest, we're almost up to 50 subscribers, so let's get it. And I think that's about it for tonight.
Yes, thank you. We love you for free. And thanks again for watching. And thanks for all those that have asked a question or comment on the show for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night. Rewatch again.